What if everything you thought you knew about pickup trucks was no longer true? In Brazil, pickup trucks are not just vehicles, they are tools of survival, symbols of progress, and, in many ways, silent partners in the country's growth. From the vast agricultural fields of Mato Grosso to the demanding terrains of mining and construction, these machines have carried not only cargo, but responsibility. And for decades, one name has been at the center of that story: Toyota. The relationship between Brazil and Toyota pickups is not accidental. It was built over time, through consistency, reliability, and presence in the moments that matter most. Generations of drivers learned to trust a vehicle that could endure poor roads, heavy loads, and long distances without hesitation. The Hilux did not become a legend through marketing. It became a legend through repetition, through years of showing up, day after day, and simply not failing. That is how trust is built. Slowly, quietly, and almost impossibly to replace. But even the strongest traditions are eventually tested. Because while this story was being written over decades, another one was being developed in parallel. Faster, more aggressive, and driven by a completely different philosophy. A new wave of manufacturers, coming from China, is now entering global markets with a clear objective: to challenge not just products, but the very logic behind how value is defined. And they are not doing it subtly. They arrive offering more features, more technology, larger dimensions, and significantly lower prices. At first glance, it feels almost disruptive. At second glance, it feels strategic. And by the third, it becomes impossible to ignore. Which brings us to an interesting moment in time. Because on one side, we have the continuation of a legacy, the evolution of something that has already proven itself across generations, the kind of product that people do not question, because it has already answered every question in advance. And on the other side, we have something new, something ambitious, a product that promises to deliver more than expected, while forcing consumers to reconsider what they truly value. The 2026 Toyota Hilux State Route 5 enters this scenario not as a newcomer, but as a reaffirmation, a ninth-generation evolution of a machine that has been shaped by decades of real-world demands. It carries forward everything that made it reliable, while adapting to a future that now demands connectivity, efficiency, and technological integration. It is not trying to impress, it is simply continuing to deliver what it always has. And that, perhaps, is exactly what makes the contrast so powerful. And then, we have the challenger, the Foton Tunland V9S. At first glance, it is impressive, large, aggressive, visually powerful. It demands attention. But what truly shocks is not its design. It is its price. A fully equipped pickup truck, offering features that often surpass its competitors at a fraction of the expected cost. Panoramic sunroof, heated and cooled seats, advanced driver assistance systems, large digital displays, and a level of equipment that seems almost too generous for its price point. And that is exactly where the real question begins. Because when something appears too good to be true, it forces us to pause, to question, to look deeper. The Tunland delivers extraordinary value on paper, but also reveals critical weaknesses upon closer inspection. Slower infotainment responses, missing integrations like Android Auto, questionable ergonomic decisions, and the absence of widely recognized safety ratings. More importantly, there is a subtle but persistent impression that the vehicle is not fully refined, as if it was released before reaching its complete potential. But focusing only on the product itself would be a mistake. Because this is not just about one truck competing against another. This is about a much larger shift. China is not trying to defeat established brands like Toyota overnight. Instead, it is executing a long-term strategy. Enter markets with aggressive pricing. Over-deliver on visible features. Accept early criticism. Learn quickly. Improve faster than competitors expect. And then, gradually, redefine the standards of the industry. This pattern has already reshaped other sectors, from electronics to renewable energy. And now, it is happening in the automotive world. Brazil becomes a crucial stage in this transformation. A country with a strong pickup culture, driven by agriculture, construction, and long-distance travel. A market where reliability has always been a top priority, but where price sensitivity plays an equally powerful role. Brazilian consumers are now facing a new dilemma: stay loyal to what has always worked, or take a chance on something new that promises more for less. And ultimately, this decision goes far beyond technical specifications. It becomes psychological. Because when someone chooses a Hilux, they are not simply buying a vehicle, they are buying peace of mind, a proven history, strong resale value, a sense of security built over decades. When someone considers a new Chinese pickup, they are entering a different equation, one that includes innovation, opportunity, and also uncertainty. It is a decision that balances potential gains against unknown risks. So the real comparison is not just about engines, torque, or features. It is about maturity versus acceleration, confidence versus ambition, history versus disruption. Today, the Hilux stands as a finished product, refined, tested, trusted. The Tunland, on the other hand, represents something still evolving, a work in progress, but one that is improving at a remarkable pace. And that is where the situation becomes truly interesting. Because progress, especially when driven by massive industrial scale and technological investment, does not move slowly. It accelerates. Today, the Hilux is ahead. There is no doubt about that. But the real question is not about today. It is about tomorrow. Because if manufacturers like Foton continue to refine their products, eliminate weaknesses, and maintain their aggressive pricing strategies, the conversation will inevitably shift. It will no longer be about whether Chinese trucks are good enough. It will become about why traditional options cost so much more. And that is a question that could reshape the entire market. So the next time you see a pickup truck on the road, do not just look at the brand. Do not just admire the design. Ask yourself something deeper. Are you choosing a legend built on the past? Or are you investing in a future that is still being written? Because in the end, the most important decision is not about the truck itself. It is about what you believe in.